Today, we're breaking down everything you need to know about the first gridiron notes for Madden NFL 26 as we break down all the new details, features, and additions to this year's Madden after that outstanding reveal trailer showcasing what looks to be a completely rehauled presentation. The lighting looks immaculate and the weather system completely changed. Let's dive into the gridiron notes. Let's talk about everything this team has to say about this year's Madden 26. So we're going to start off. We're talking about the gameplay. They said we want to talk about the gameplay for Madden 26. We're talking about using real-world NFL data, seeing the tendencies and traits of our league's superstars, experiencing real football weather on virtual gridiron, strategizing around the X's and O's of football, and real community feedback coming through with every single snap to make it feel different every time you play. So what we're going to get into this first keynote is QB DNA. The quarterback is the most iconic position in all of football. To reflect that, Madden 26 has completely reimagined quarterback mechanics from animations to behaviors with our QB DNA. Not only are you watching Josh Allen's rocket arm fire off a deep pass mid-jump, you're also going to be playing as Josh Allen too. More than 500 new quarterback animations were added into this year's Madden. QB signatures in Madden 26 are a visual replication of everything from how each quarterback holds the football in the pocket to their arm slot when slinging the ball downfield. We have overhauled our player traits and with 50 new player traits across numerous positions, all backed by real-world NFL tendency data. Does your quarterback in real life throw more often to the right side of the field? Joe Burrow, for example, will be more likely to set his feet before throwing compared to other quarterbacks. Josh Allen is also as fearless as he is in real life. He'll be trucking defenders as he takes a chance to scramble for the first down instead. Whether it's Lamar Jackson getting shifty to avoid hits or Matt Stafford dropping his arm down to finesse a screen pass, pocket presence, scrambling tendencies, and passing styles reflect the unique traits of today's stars and tomorrow's legends. So massive win there. They're trying to make this every year. I feel like especially since last year, they're really trying to build more real life tendencies to make it feel like what you're watching there on every Sunday or Monday or Thursday night game, right? So really excited to see these QB DNA tendencies, animations, the tendencies. If they like to scramble, you're going to be seeing more scrambles apparently in this year's Madden, which is awesome to see. So really excited about what this is leaning into. I can't wait to get my hands on that. Now, moving on to the next one is Coach DNA. Introducing Coach DNA, a groundbreaking feature, that's big words right there, that brings the personalities and tendencies of NFL head coaches to Madden 26, powered by machine learning stemming from years of real-world data. Coach DNA mirrors the unique styles and philosophies of NFL coaches. If it's a 4th and 3, you better be ready for Dan Campbell and the Lions to try to get that first down. Passing successfully on the Vikings, expect some creative blitzes from their unpredictable defense. This data-driven play calling brings the real-life head coaching tendencies to the virtual gridiron here in Madden 26. Their second piece of DNA for coaching is the overhaul to coaching suggestions in the play screen menus. They are now calling it Coach Speak. If you're playing as the Lions, Dan Campbell will offer various suggestions depending on the down and distance, true to the real-life Detroit Lions tendencies and mirror the way that Campbell does talk. On top of that, we have real-time coaching AI where the CPU teams will take pre-snap adjustments and suggest play calls that specifically counter your opponent's tactics. Driving Coach John Madden's vision further for teaching X's and O's is at the forefront of what they're doing here with Coach DNA. They said they've received a ton of positive feedback about their playbooks from previous years, and they're happy to announce there's going to be over 1,000 new plays at launch for Madden 26. They said the playbooks contain the current trend of motion and shift-based offenses you see from teams like San Fran or Miami. For the defensive playbooks, you'll find exotic blitz pressures, defensive disguises, and all new stunts and twists to lock your opponents down as well. So that's really pleasing to hear. That's something I've felt in Madden. I mean, for the foreseeable past, that we didn't really get the true DNA or the true to life styles from the coaches or the teams you're playing against. So now adding in Coach DNA, I feel like that's going to make, if I'm playing the Chiefs in Andy Reid's offense style, it's going to feel like I'm playing an Andy Reid offense, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited to see how this plays out. Again, trying to make it feel more to real life than ever before. Now, moving in, they're talking about the wear and tear system and new depth chart positions. So modernize roster management with strategic depth with wear and tear and dynamic substitutions. Wear and tear will affect player performance, while dynamic substitutions allow for seamless situational swaps without pausing gameplay. So this is very similar to what they're trying to do with College Football 26 as well. Looks like it's going to be same thing here for Madden 26, which is nice to see. They say highly requested new depth chart position, modernize NFL or Madden 26 featuring edge, nose tackles, long snapper, versatile gadget positions. This upcoming NFL season could see a dynamic two-way player with Travis Hunter, of course, with the Jaguars. Hunter will have the ability to counteract some of the wear and tear on playing both ways, meaning you can't just throw any receiver at corner and expect the same exact result. So he's a very unique individual for that. So it's gonna be nice to be able to put players in different positions. You've seen what the gadgetry with San Francisco's done in the past with putting Debo at running back. It seems like those situational packages and all will be implemented even more so in the forefront for this year's Madden. And now something that stood out massively to me in the trailer, and that is the football weather, y'all. They've overhauled the weather systems, and they said they completely overhauled not just the visuals, but also the effects of weather conditions. Heavy fog, snow, rain, and everything in between will affect your movement, visibility, stamina, and ball control. If you're playing a Madden NFL snowball, you'll notice players slipping or moving as very clunkily as they would in a real-life blizzard. Physics, from how players move to how the ball carrier will adjust to mimic the weather conditions. Think again about chip shot field goals in heavy weather, because they're not going to be so simple. They said they've also added finer details, making the elements of parts of home field where cold weather teams will not get impacted as heavily as wet, warm weather teams such as the Miami Dolphins. To balance this, when playing in extreme heat, those cold weather teams will tire out faster, which is a little detail with a big impact that came straight from real-life NFL players to this Madden dev team about how weather impacts them depending on where they're at. So I liked hearing all this. I think weather has been something that has sorely been a bad, kind of just basic for the last, I don't even know, 10 years of Madden. So seeing them overhaul the weather systems and even having that impact how players play or teams play depending on where they're at geographically, that rings a bell for me. I like hearing this. Now, talking about foundational football, they said football fundamentals are not optional. They're essential to doubling down on core football principles to give player more depth and control. So they have explosive locomotion, run and pass blocking, defensive zone coverage, physics, and all new mechanics are at the forefront of what they're trying to do with these improvements. So what they're talking about here, they said simply that the left stick feels like it's never been better in Madden. It's not just fast players are fast, the end. Our explosive locomotion differentiates the north to south speed of athletes like Tyreek Hill versus the wiggly east to west players like Gibbs. With explosive locomotion, a player who runs a 4.240 will feel like a player who runs a 4.240. We want our players to feel visceral differences between fast and explosive in Madden 26. So that's really nice to hear. You're going to be able to really feel the difference between north to south speed and your east to west kind of shifty speed. So really going to be able to feel the difference between the different types of runners. Really excited about that. They also detailed custom defensive zones and adaptive coverages, let you game plan and adjust just like real life coordinators do. With custom defensive zones, you'll be able to set the depth of your zone defenders at the line of scrimmage to take away the pesky corner routes from your opponents, or do you want your safeties to align with a certain hash mark, the passing strength, or elsewhere? AI logic, custom zones, and more are going to deliver an overhaul to defensive coverages in Madden 26. So that's huge to me. I feel like, especially with defensive zoning and the secondary especially, it's always kind of a hit and miss point where it doesn't feel completely meshed. So I'm excited to see what they're doing with this, with the AI logic, with the defense, the custom zones, and being able to do more stuff at the line of scrimmage pre-snap. And they said they can't wait to talk about more of that in the future, but let's get in. They're talking about franchise mode, my favorite mode. I know all you offliners like me, you love to play your franchises or even online franchises. So let's dive in. Let's see what they're saying. First thing, NFL, no two coaches are alike. Now in Madden, that's also true. We've added hundreds of new head and brand new gear for your creating a coach and style. Ooh, that's intriguing to hear. We're also introducing a new metagame with coaching abilities in Madden 26. You can now check out the scouting report and customize your game plan against your opponents each and every single week. Coach abilities are also more than just a menu item. They can trigger via in-game scenarios. For example, one ability could increase your offensive tackles. Okay, success against power moves. Interesting. Leveling up your coach gets you access to more abilities. And of course, CPU teams will also take advantage of these game plans as well, while the CPU is game planning against you. Playbooks now become a larger focus for franchise this year with play sheets. Play sheets are another component of your weekly game planning, allowing you to add extra plays to your playbook. The play sheets you'll be able to access depend on how you level up your coach. Managing player wear and tear is now part of franchise strategy as well. Remembering when we mentioned Travis Hunter is a gameplay section in the gameplay section, upgraded trainer roles means trainer abilities are used to manage wear and tear. So that's interesting. So now the trainer section is going to be very important to maintain wear and tear and keep people hopefully healthy and out on the field and not on the IR list or, out of the lineup whatsoever. So franchise mode comes alive with enhanced presentation, including halftime shows, weekly recaps with Scott Hansen. I need to see this, but that sounds super freaking exciting. And all new custom broadcast packages for all Monday, Sunday, and Thursday night primetime games as well. So that last bit there has got me intrigued, to say the least, ladies and gentlemen. They're enhancing presentation. That's something I've been dying for. They said they're including halftime shows now and weekly recaps. So I'm hoping this is really fleshed out. I hope they have highlights as well. We'll see. Akin to what they, of course, the ESPN games, the 2K games used to do. But that's good news for me. And then we're moving into presentation. Okay, they're saying experience team-specific runouts, crowd chants, mascots, pregame traditions like Minnesota's Skull Chant and Baltimore's Light Show. Let's talk head coaches. More gear means more authentic looking coaches. Dan Campbell is going to have that signature look on the sidelines, complete with his t-shirt and rolled up long sleeve. In terms of uniforms, the teams added more alternate and classic jerseys from Nike, including the Texans redesign, stadium edge walls, field arts, all being aligned with specific uniforms as well. Bengals rocking the whiteout, Buccaneers in the creamsicles. The field logos will match those uniforms when you choose them. And another stadium detail we've added, in-venue prompt graphic packages for teams. Real-life jumbotrons will also be in the game. So they're saying this is the tip of the iceberg. They're going to have a fully fleshed out franchise and presentation deep dive where they'll have more about this. But that was on display in the trailer. You see they're taking a note from what they did with their college game. They're bringing that type of presentation to the NFL game, trying to make it feel like a real Sunday night experience, what you see every single day on the TV or if you're at the stadium. So that's super, super exciting. And moving on to our last couple things here, talking about some other modes. You got Superstar mode, of course, which you can now import your Road to Glory character from EA College Football 26 or create a brand new character and take the league by storm. From rookie hopeful to legendary icon, every week brings fresh story of the week's narrative that pull you deeper into the heart of the game. Career chapters will guide you down the path of becoming a superstar. Start as a bench player and work your way into different phases of your career by meeting different objectives. But fail to please your coach, and you could find yourself back on the bench and looking for a redemption arc. Build and manage crucial relationships with coaches, teammates, and agents through immersive sphere of influence system, because who you know off the field is just as important as what you do on that field. Keep your body in peak shape by balancing the wear and tear system, push your limits in intense superstar live events, and sharpen your skills to climb all the way to the 99 overall rating. For players who love Superstar Showdown, expect bigger and better live events through this year's PS. This includes the return to the online head-to-head minigames. More on that, they said, in the Superstar deep dive down the line. And then, of course, lastly, my least favorite mode, but a lot of people love it, is Ultimate Team. So MUT, they're saying they're going to have more ways to play, deeper team building challenges, reimagined for players that like to play online, solo, or in between. They're saying they've heard the feedback from our solo players, and they're excited to share that Madden 26 Ultimate Team is giving solo play an overhaul that it deserves. They've rebuilt our solo reward structure from the ground up, focusing on progression, pacing, and rewards. They're also introducing solo champions, a new choose your difficulty mode to showcase your solo prowess as well. They're also bringing new live events to the table this year for a new way to play Ultimate Team. Expect to see events that celebrate our theme teamers out there. Other events will have constraints that encourage creative team building, and they've also introducing a leaderboard campaigns for both online and solo players. These are smaller leaderboards, limited time, focused competitions with reworked placement design where every single game matters. To make things simpler, the new pack helper brings critical decisions, making it directly to opening your packs. You'll be able to see if a player is better than your current starters, auction house information, and all that right there from the onset. So they say there's a lot more about Ultimate Team they're going to dive into, but ladies and gentlemen, that's the first deep dive and the first reveal trailer for Madden. I want all your honest thoughts and opinions down below for me in the comment section. What are you most excited about, and what apprehension or questions do you still have after this first trailer? For me, I'm actually very excited about what we're seeing and hearing about this year's Madden. I've heard some hype from other creators out there, and from what I'm seeing in the trailer, it looks like they're taking a step in the right direction for some areas that I'm intrigued in, which is presentation, weather, and of course, real life AI logic and franchise play. So I'm excited to see more and get my hands on this game. I know they're going to have a beta at some point as well. So keep it tuned here for all things Madden NFL 26 or College Football 26. We have got you covered, and we'll have franchise gameplay whenever the games launch. But stay safe. God bless to each of you, and we'll catch you guys back here in the next one.